All right. Today's part of the day is a little bit interesting. The question is an EMAS question, and I don't really know the number of students who can solve this problem. I mean, the number of EMAS students in Ghana who can solve this problem actually. But if you've done series and sequence, in a way, you can do this problem. And so, first of all, after reading the question, I advise you that you pause the video and then you try to solve the problem on your own. And if you're not able to solve it, no problem, we will solve it together. And if you're able to solve it, you can just watch my method of how I'm solving it as well. So let's read the question. The question says, Mr. Mensah starts a job with an annual salary of 6,400 Ghana cedis, which increases by 240 cedis every year. After working for 8 years, Mr. Mensah is promoted to a new post with an annual salary of 9,500 cedis, which increases by 360 cedis every year. Calculate I, Mr. Mensah's salary in the 15th year of service, and then II, his total earnings at the end of the 15th year of service. So in a way, assuming I didn't tell you that there's a series and sequence problem, I don't know if you would be able to identify it yourself that there's a series and sequence problem. There's a real world problem with your EMAS that you study in the classroom. So in this case, we are given two scenarios. The question says in the first 8 years, he was receiving a different salary from there afterwards. So the total number of years in this case per the first question, which says a salary in the 15th year, that means the total years of service is 15. And then when we consider the question very well, it says first 8 years. That means there is quite a number of years after the 8 years that will guide us to solve the problem. So in this case, you see, every question or in every series and sequence, you have a starting point, which is the first term. And in this case, I'll get two different first terms. And the question is giving me the 6,400 Ghana cedis as my first term. And then the 9,500 cedis as my second first term. And then you can also identify that we have 240 cedis. So that one will be my first common difference. And then the 360 cedis will be my second common difference. So I don't know if you are getting this picture, but let me just solve it. Okay, so over here, solution. So I'm going to say A1 as my first term. That one was given as 6,400 cedis, and then my D1 should be my first common difference. That one was given as 240 cedis. Okay, and in this case, that one, it occurred within a number of period of time. So I would say 8 years. That was the first 8 years. Okay, and then from there I can also generate my second scenario. In this case, I will say my A2 should be my 9,500 cedis, and then my D2 should be the common difference. In this time is going to be 360 cedis, and then let me just put my n here, would actually be 15 minus 8. So in this case, my n is 7. Okay, so if you are able to derive this, probably you've been able to do more than 50% of the job. So this is where the confusion lies. Okay, and if you're able to get this, then you are done. Okay, so from here, the first question says Mr. Mensah's salary in the 15th year of service. This thing, you should be able to break it down. So even if I should explain it in three for you, let me just try and see. I'll say Mr. Mensah oye juma into 15 years no the year juma no, and our first 8 years no, first no j 6,400 misika oje no the year bia na contribute and as a year bia 240 cedis be count. The first year oje 6,400, the second year be 6,400 plus 240. Na third year na 240 ni be count sa kopim say drew 8 year, and I say kopim say drew 8 year no, the 8 year no na it change no, and the cost on after the amount 9,500. In a way, it might seem say on the 8th year next car and drew 9,500. Until you how no you pushing the call 9,500. Until I feel this 360 cedis a canon from there. I know ye Jumana Kupim say on 15 years. Okay, so I say 15th year no. Say no nya on that particular 15th year no. Okay, so that particular 15th year, no, that is what we are coming to calculate. So with that, we believe that during that time, no, the n was actually 7, because during that time we are considering a different portion, or let's say a second half of his work, and the 15th year lies within the second half of his work. So the 15th year lies on the 7th year of the second half of his work, if you are getting me clearly. So that means in this case, we know that un for series and sequence arithmetic progression is actually giving us a plus n minus 1 d, right? In this case, it will be u7, if you are getting me critically. So in other words, u15 minus 8, I can also say u15 minus 8, that gave me the u7. Okay, so in this case, u7 is equal to, by this time my u7 lies in the second year. That means I'll take this one as my first term, and then my common difference will be this one. So it means that we have 9500 plus 7 minus 1 multiplying the 360, right? That'll give me 9500 plus 6 times 360, and then that will give me 9500 plus 2160, and then it will just sum up to 11660.00. So on the 15th year, Mr. Mensah received 11660.00 cedis. That was the amount that he received during that time. So we've been able to do the first question. Okay, so I will just write, maybe his salary on the 15th year was 11660.00. In this case, I don't have enough space to do that, so I'll write it. Okay, so here, let me just leave space for the second one. So this is my I, something like this, and then II. Okay, so during the II, the question says his total earning at the end of the 15th year of service. So the first question was our second question, or 15. Second question, the purchase and the total earning from day one kopim say we drew 15th year. That is what it means. It means that the money that he had from the very beginning of his starting job till he ended his service. Okay, so from here I should have the sum of his first 8 earnings, and then I'll continue from there till I get to the 15th end. Okay, so with that, I'm going to take the first 8. Okay, so let me say S1 for the first period plus S2 will give me the total. Okay, so the S1, we know that the formula is actually n on 2, and then it will just multiply 2a plus n minus 1d. There's a formula, right? So with that one, my S1 should be the n is actually 8, right? So in this case, 8 on 2 multiplying 2, and then my a is 6400, right? Multiplying 6400 plus 8 minus 1, and here our d is 240, right? So 240, then you close everything. And when you use your calculator to punch this, you're supposed to get a value which is 57920.00. Sake of time, so this is the first period. So also breaking down, this 2 cancel this, those will be 4 times this. When you multiply this and when you expand the whole of this, you're supposed to get 57920.00. Okay, so this is the first amount he had during the first 8 years. So with the second one, and Omeka S2, right? So that one he worked for 7 years. So in this case, 7 on 2 multiplying 2 times, and this time our first term is the 950, right? So 9,500 plus, and then n minus 1d, 7 minus 1, that will give me 6, right? Multiplying the 360, and then I can close that, and that amount should also yield 74060.00. So the total amount in this case should be S1 plus S2, right? So that will be 57920 plus 74060, and that will yield 131,980.00. Okay, so after working for 15 years in the company, he had 131,980.00. In other words, 131,980 cedis. Okay, so that is the amount that he had after working for 15 years. So this is a very, very simple question, but a little bit tricky. You need to understand this before you're able to get it. And the hard work was actually this portion, how you were able to break this down. And then from there, everything was really, really soft. So today's problem of the day ends here. Thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate your time. And please don't forget to like and subscribe, and then share to your friends so that we all benefit from this video. See you later. Stay safe.